Good evening, everyone. We're like this close to an epilogue. We're not quite there. We should start it tonight, but we'll see what happens.
What's
with me? What's with me?
Well, if it takes too long, my epilogue will start pretty soon.
May the dice be in your favor.
This is true.
Me looking at my 1 hit point.
Yeah,
Wait, you have one?
still have. By technicality, he's still unconscious.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was stabilized, but
Yeah.
But I guess let's just get into a recap then for this week's session of the Darkening of Mirkwood. Last week, Lindsay's just gonna keep meeping at me all night. Last week, the Fellowship made their way through Tyrant's Hill Keep and all the way up the lone watchtower that towered above Amon Baglir. As they crept closer and closer to the peak of the tower, the weather seemed to shift into gusting winds and rumbling thunder. Once they got to the top, with some very stealthy rolls for once in their lives, they were able to peek inside and find one lone individual in possession of the Palantir, their ultimate prize. As they did try to sneak a little bit more inside, however, Haru sort of tipped them off, and the one individual, now aware of their presence, was none other than Mogdred, the fallen son of the Woodmen, also known as the Lord of Tyrant's Hill. Slain once and resurrected, he was here to do the Dark One's bidding, with the, management of the Nazgul. With their ultimate goal being to grab the Palantir and secure it, before they can make a move, Mordred was able to momentarily seal the only way out from the tower for now. The battle ensued with the gathering wind and the compression of what appeared to be dark magics in the immediate area. The Fellowship was subjected to being almost force pushed off the tower and being subjected to dark and corrupted visions that sometimes completely stunned them. But through a long pitched battle where Mathan had fallen and then came back up to fight, fallen again, back up, and then Hothis falls once again. The end of the day, or at least at the end of the fight, Nayla was able to achieve a killing blow with Mathan in combo, and the two of them together were able to slay Mordred. And that is where we are going to begin tonight. As the three of you, Hothis still unconscious on the floor, but stabilized as the two of you rush to his side fairly quickly. The Palantir is in Nayla's possession. And as you finish stabilizing Hothis, and the two of you just take a moment, knees on the ground, gathering your breath, you feel the wind shift behind you as you look over your shoulder and you see the swirling compression of air once again, and then it fluctuates and it ripples a bit, seemingly unstable, and it reverberates out, and you feel the gust of wind push against all of you. Not seemingly as strong before, but there seems to be something else behind it. And as the dust falls and there's a moment of silence, you hear as part of the tower begins to crumble.
Oh.
As you see onto the left side of you on the catwalk out the door, that completely shifts and falls apart, and you hear it hit the ground sometime later. As the entire tower begins to shift and sway, now seeming very unstable.
Oh my god, how are we gonna carry Hothis?
Gravity might have to do some of the work.
I can't say anything because I'm unconscious.
Nathan, start helping him up. I'm gonna try to grab some of the stuff from the counter, and I'm gonna try to like grab whatever I see on the counter, potion bottles and whatnot. Bottles, whatever.
Nathan, how would you carry someone who is 8'5"?
Well, I want to make sure that I pick them up by using only my lower back and groin. Okay. When I pick them up, I only want to go up in a jerking, twisting motion. Okay, taking my legs totally out of the picture. Okay, just like that.
The story suddenly stops for how-to on how to lift somebody.
Okay.
Nayla, you rush over to the counter, and with your one pack, you just put your arm down on the table and just shove whatever you can, a couple of the vials and just some other bits and bobs that are laying about, and you put them in your pack. Haru darts past you and through the window and out into the open air immediately to safety.
That's a good bird. He's at 10 hit points, so yes, he should do that. And then
Nathan.
Okay.
Nathan, as that is happening, what are you doing?
So I'm gonna legitimately. Okay, we at AdventureCheck always say you guys should lift things with your legs. Okay, so I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna kind of like fireman carry Hothus, kind of like his head's off to one side of my ass and his legs are off to the other side, and I'm just gonna start hauling him.
Give me an athletics check. He is massive.
Is there time for me to come back and assist?
Potentially.
Like,
this is immediately as you depart to go get the stuff, he is immediately trying this.
Okay.
As the one half of the tower.
Check. 14.
Pushing my way. 14. You get underneath them and you lift with your legs, and the veins begin to pop and pull as you get about halfway up. But you cannot lift them beyond that point.
How much is Hothus weigh? How much is Hothus weigh?
Probably a fuck ton.
I don't know. I put 260. I don't know if that makes sense for an 8'5" individual.
You a lean boy. God damn. Let me guess, you were the runt of the litter.
Let me go ahead and change 260 really quick to 360.
I can still deadlift that. Fuck.
That makes more sense.
The moment I throw everything in my pouch, if I can, I'm gonna come like sprinting back to Mathan and try to help carry Hothus.
In that case, I'm gonna propose I grab the arm, she grabs the legs. Looks like two guys trying to move a fucking couch.
That's a heavy.
Strong.
Yeah, that.
Well, Nayla, I suggest you get on some creatine and some roids because we need to get this boy out of here.
Simple enough between the two of you. You can carry him out of here. However, both of your movement speeds are halved.
Okay.
All right.
I can't say anything because I'm unconscious.
So you move over, you heft them over, and you move towards the hatch in the floor that is shut.
What about the corridor?
I wanna look out.
What corridor?
Wasn't there like a corridor, like a entrance or exit way out of here?
Yeah, onto the catwalk that just fell.
Oh, okay, I misunderstood that then. Okay, open the fucking hatch. I'm going to. How far is the drop?
About 10 feet.
Do it. Just toss it.
No. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna jump down and I'm just gonna yell, Nayla, throw him down.
Dexterity saving throws from both of you before you get to this
What?
point. You're taking too long.
Wait,
I was describing.
I don't know what I'm doing.
As a portion of the ceiling now in between the two of you.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what to do. Okay. Okay. I'm going to. You want me to drop him through the hatch? Is that what you said?
As you catch the ceiling beginning to fall, Nayla, you drop Hothus's legs and roll out of the way. Mathan, you're left with the brunt of the weight, and you're trying to pull him out. And while you get him to safety, a portion of the wood, large 2x4 that falls down, does strike you on the side of the shoulder. You take 4 bludgeoning damage.
Ow.
Oh, come on.
Can't take any more of that.
Yeah. Okay.
At that point, I'm just gonna leap of faith out of here.
First I'm gonna quickly grab one of those bottles out of the bag. Does it look like a healing salve?
You pull it out. It is a like clay opaque bottle that is corked.
What does that mean? Can I?
It looks like you can't see into it. It just looks like a vial.
Okay.
Can I like be coming in and out of consciousness? Just like
Sure.
You're like a frat boy that we're taking home after drinking too much.
Hothus just like breaks into consciousness for a second and barely can understand anything what's going on, and just in the same mindset that he kind of was when he went under, because he went under before Mordred died. So he just says, Nayla, run, and he just falls unconscious again.
Shut up, Hothus! I'm gonna uncork it and I'm gonna take a sip, just to see what it is.
Roll a nature check.
Okay.
Because you are not a scholar, you are not well versed in potions.
17?
17. You uncork it and you take a bit on your finger and you rub it onto the tip of your tongue. You get a strong, bitter taste to it that you're not familiar with. The healing potions that you've been given by Vidar were not this way.
Toss it over
Not
my
this
shoulder and
way.
start dragging Hothus more.
You did grab 2 vials, all by the way. Mathan, what are you doing during this?
So is she still carrying Hothus?
No, she dropped him to get out of the way of the falling debris.
Okay, and did I catch him? Because I missed that part when I got hit by the
You
thing.
pulled him out of the way to get him out of the striking zone of the debris, but in that process, you got hit.
You still haven't gone down the ladder. We haven't got to that point yet.
Oh, I thought we did. I thought I said I jumped.
No.
Okay.
You
Okay,
said,
okay,
but
okay.
then stuff happened.
Okay. Okay. Then that happened. Got it. Okay. So then, hatch is open, correct?
No,
No. Okay. Open the fucking hatch.
it's jammed.
Wait! Oh my god!
I'm gonna take my sword out and strike at it to hopefully loosen it up a little bit.
Roll an attack.
Do.
Just jump out of the tower. Use my body as a cushion.
19
Oh,
will
God.
hit. Go ahead and roll damage. 15 as you take out your sword and you just strike it through. It looks like Mordred, when he jammed it shut with his foot, did a bit of damage to it, and it actually caved in a bit. So you finding that weak point with your sword, it has actually just punctured it through, and where there was a hatch, and while it's still technically closed, the interior of it is completely busted in. You can fit through it.
Okay. So then I'm going to, from that point, can Hothus fit through it?
Yeah, he fit through it to get up, so...
Okay. Then I'm going to jump down, and if I were to throw Hothus down with nothing really there, would he take damage?
Maybe.
So I'm trying to find a potion.
Okay, then I'm going to jump down, or before I jump down, like, Nayla, throw him to me, and I'm going to jump down.
Acrobatics check, please.
You got it. Please, no, not one. Woo!
22, you jump down while gripping the side of the ladder and just sort of slide down with one foot along the rungs, and you land safely.
Okay. And then I'm just going to wait for Nayla for him to throw Hothus to me.
Nail it.
I will do that, and then if I have extra time after that, I'm gonna check the next bottle that I have.
So you're gonna put Hothus through the hatch?
Yes.
Okay. You roll him over to the edge and you gently up him to the other side. You lower him down as gently as you can, slow enough. Nathan grabs him by the feet and brings him down slowly. Then you go to pull out one of the other potions that you snagged, and you feel the floorboards begin to waver and shift a bit. I need another dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Do you need one from me too?
Not you yet.
Okay.
Ho ho!
Nice.
I hope that's good.
Fucking better be.
Natural 20 for a total of 24. As you put Hothus down, you grab one of the potions out of your pack and you see the other side of the tower begin to shift off and collapse. You roll off to the side on the other side of the hatch. You uncork the potion.
Yeah, and I'll do a quick taste of that.
Nature check.
Oh, God. Oh, I would have liked that to be better.
12. You take a bit of the potion and you place it on your tongue. It's a little... It has a hint of sweetness, but is a little bland and earthy. You think this is similar to what you've had from Vidar in the past?
So it seems somewhat familiar.
Somewhat, maybe. It's been a while.
Okay, if I have another second and I look outside, do I see my bird? Or maybe other birds?
He's out in the air. He flew. You see. Give me a perception check.
I'm legally blind.
17. You look out and you see Haru circling a wide berth from the tower.
Okay,
And that is all.
cool. Then if I still have a moment, I'll jump down after the other two.
Okay.
And
You slide back down. You slide back down the ladder. You get to the base of it. You guys are now on the spiral staircase that descends to the bottom of the tower.
Going down.
I'm gonna stuff whatever the contents of that potion is down Hothus's gullet.
Okay.
Or on his wounds or whatever. Half in his mouth, half on a wound.
Sure. You
I want that
land
soundbite.
with it. You land with your feet on the ground, and with the potion still uncorked, you open his mouth and you put it down. You lift his head back to swallow, and any wounds you see begin pouring excess across that. You feel like you see almost like a sizzling burn with anything it contacts with in terms of the wounds. Go ahead and roll 4d4 plus 4 for me. Hothus, you heal 19 hit points and come back to consciousness.
What if Brian was like, Hothus, you take 19 points of poison damage?
Oh. Bad way to go, my dude.
As she's doing it, she's just like, up, we gotta go, up!
Oh, yeah. Just swing my axe. And then just... And
Time to go.
takes a second for everything to sink in because the tower was not collapsing when he fell unconscious.
The exterior wall that is closest to you guys, several bricks begin to fall out until almost an entire window appears as the tower continues to fall apart. You hear the gusting wind whipping past from where you are.
Go!
Yeah, I'm gonna
Let's
just
go.
dash down after I get my
Dashing.
bearings.
Yep.
All right, you guys begin descending as fast as you can down the spiral staircase. You get about halfway down and you see the staircase as the wall continues to pull away, and you see that the above portion begins leaning to one side as there's no longer any support for it. Several of the stairs begin to crumble and fall to the ground. I need acrobatics checks.
Not deck saves?
No,
Shut up,
you
Lindsay.
guys are trying to get across the
18.
gap.
Okay. Oh,
I know the checks I'm asking for.
I'm just making sure.
What's the marching order?
Hothus is not first because he was getting his bearings.
I'll go first.
Yeah, Nayla will be.
Did we
Nayla will be-
fuse?
I know, fusion. Nayla will be after Hothus, since she, yeah.
So the exact marching order you guys had going up. Nathan, Hothus, Nayla. All right. As the stairs in front of you begin to peel away in one movement, Nathan leading the pack, you jump the gap, and as you're about to clear it, a few more steps begin to pull away, and you actually misjudge the jump, and you fall short, and you grab on to the other side, and you begin to slip. Hothis, you go ahead and you jump over him. Before you land or are able to turn to do anything, Mathan, I need a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Not amazing rolls, but I'm doing all right.
14, you are slipping fast. There is nothing to grip onto as the rock is completely smoothed over. Hothis.
Yeah, I'll try and grab him and pull him if I can.
Go ahead and give me an athletics check.
Pull him to safety. 13. Ah.
13 is he's slipping, and your hand, and you see Mathan's hand
Nathan!
disappear from the other side, and you leap and slide on your stomach right across to the edge, and your hand darts down, Nayla, as you turn the corner, and you see Hothis completely prone, looking down in this gap, reaching down, and you see nothing else. Mathan, for a moment you slip and you fall, and you are in a complete free fall in almost as if time slows down for you, and you feel nothing beneath you and nothing around you. There is nothing to grab, there is nothing to stabilize you, and there's that moment where you just feel yourself falling. And then at the last moment, as you're just barely out of reach, Hothis's hand comes down and grips your wrist.
Jeez!
You pull from the momentum. You pull from the momentum as you get pulled back the other way. Your shoulder pops out of place. But you are in Hothis's grasp. Nayla, during this, you with a 23, you see this happening, knowing that full well that you cannot make that jump without landing on Hothis. So you run as fast as you can, and you do sort of like a Prince of Persia style wall run from the side.
Yeah.
You get about halfway off, you get halfway there, and then you jump off onto the other side behind Hothis, and you land onto your backside, and you slide down a couple more feet with the stairs. You are now leading the pack.
I'm going to then continue forward and just check behind. I'm gonna every so often check behind me for the other two and their safety and status, and I'm gonna try to check outside every once in a while to keep an eye on Haru just in case.
I'm gonna
Okay.
pull Mathan up.
You pull him up as you can feel a couple of the tendons and strain just pull and pop from your shoulder, Mathan. But as you get up, you place your feet sort of on the side of the staircase, and you help Hothis, and you are able to get on your feet onto solid ground for the moment.
Can I put my shoulder back into place?
As me medicine check.
As we're running.
Oh no!
There you are.
Oh!
Oh my god!
This is gonna be gross.
You get on, you place your feet on the ground. You and Hothis sort of lock eyes briefly as you're gripping your shoulder, and you just nod like, we're not out of this yet. Hothis turns on his heel and begins going down the descent. You take one step before you actually start beginning to go into a full run, and as you do, you bite down on your thumb.
Oh
and get up
god.
against the wall and just back into place. You crack your neck and you run.
Badass.
That's awesome.
But why my thumb though? Ow.
To bite down for the pain.
You've been rolling
know.
so many crits in this dungeon crawl, though, Mathan.
Matt, shut up. We're not out yet. He says that all nat ones from this point forward.
Run, 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 run!
Naylor leading the pack. You're probably about 10-15 feet ahead of everyone. You are getting closer to the base. You can feel it, but at the same time, you can feel like the top of the tower begin to cave in on itself as rocks and debris begin to fall from the ceiling across the sides and just begin to completely cave in on itself.
That's amazing. I don't know what to do about that. Other than keep checking behind me for my friends and keep looking out for my bird.
As you're running, though, since you're leading, I need another dexterity save from you.
That's amazing. I don't know.
Ooh.
As you're running and your gaze keeps getting pulled out every other arrow slit, just trying to keep tabs on what's going on outside potentially. And at one point you look, and then you get this blinding pain where your vision goes completely white for a moment. And you take 10 bludgeoning damage.
Oh, friends!
Are you up?
As you get
Yeah.
Okay.
You're up? Okay. That would change the narrative a bit. As you get knocked off of your trajectory a bit and you sidestep and you sort of make a wide arc until you get your bearings, and as you continue to run, you turn around and you see a large wooden support beam had buckled from the weight. It actually came out and hit the back of your head as you were running. Had it hit any harder, would have knocked you out.
Yeah.
The two of you, Hothus and Mathan, as you gain ground, you see this. In order to keep your speed up, I do need acrobatics checks to avoid it, as you're not in danger of getting hit by it.
Let's go, Mathan!
Let's go, guys. Let's go.
Simple enough. As you round the bend and you see the wood sticking out from the structure, and you just easily duck under it in one movement and keep running.
Hey, buddy.
Nayla, as you continue to run and get to the base of the tower, you can feel the whole structure shake and swivel. Or not swivel, sway. Swiveling's a different motion.
Start spinning on an axe.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm scared.
As you get to the base of the stairs where you initially came in through, and off into the corner you can see the stairs leading down, and then the hallway across from where you came, and then immediately behind you a stack of boxes that were what you believe initially barring your way in here and before from the outside. But right in front of you, as you do take your bearings, a large brick from the ceiling lands at your feet, and as the dust settles around you, you step back. Where do you go?
All right, so it's in front of me is blocked now.
Not immediately, no. You would have to go around it, but you stop at the base of the stairs to get your bearings, and while you're trying to figure everything out, you narrowly avoid getting hit by a large brick that falls from the ceiling.
Yeah,
from directly above me.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you remember, this room we're in now has the door that's blocked by a bunch of boxes to the south.
Yeah. So there's another alley into. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna look that way to see if it still seems clear at a glance, and then I'm gonna try to direct the other two to start going that way.
Down the hallway?
Yeah.
Okay. You're checking to see if it's clear. Go ahead and give me a perception check. 26. You take a quick glance down the hallway and you see flickering lights from the sconces from the main keep room. Doesn't appear to be any immediate threats.
Okay, then I'm gonna be like, this way!
The two of you come to the base of the stairs. You see the large brick in front of you, and you see Nayla a few feet in front of you, just basically pointing down the hallway.
Yeah, I just follow. I go. Make sure Mathan's keeping up. He rolled 25 on acrobatics.
You make your way through the main corridor into the large keep where you originally fought Vidar mere moments ago. Nayla.
Yes.
What are you doing?
Just realized I was muted.
Oh. I'm gonna keep running, and if there's a door, I'm gonna kick it down and make sure the way is open for everybody.
They went past you.
Right, I will follow.
Can I run towards the door and drop kick it like?
You directed traffic down here.
That's right. I did
Which,
that. Sorry,
which
I
I
was
think
engaging
puts-
with chat.
Which I think puts Hathis in the lead now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Hathis is now pack leader,
Yeah, so
followed
I'm
by
just
Mathan and then Nayla.
yeah, I'm just following behind.
Yeah, so I'm gonna run through that corridor. I'm in the big throne room, and I'm just gonna run south to where we came in.
All right, the two of you, or you leading the pack, are heading south. I need a dexterity saving throw.
Bada bing, bada boom. That's not that good, but hey, it's above 10.
Who else?
Just him, because he dashed out in front and he's trying to get through, so he's leading.
Oh, okay.
As you are running through, and there's probably about 5-10 feet between all of you as you're just sort of trying to keep pace. You slide into the main keep out the door and in between the pillars, and you basically hurtle over Vidar's body, and you're heading for the double doors that come into the keep that were originally pushed open. They're still open. You get about halfway down, and Mathan, from your point of view, right behind him, you hear like a very dull whooshing sound. And in that moment, you all feel at the same time a large rumble as the ceiling begins to cave in right above Hathis. And you see the very tip of the tower has now fallen and collided with the ceiling and has fallen through. The stone ceiling took the brunt of it, but enough does fall through where you do get peppered and hit with a lot of debris, specifically rock. You take 11 bludgeoning damage, Hathis.
Oh no!
Still up as I get do. Oh, that hurts.
My leg.
But you do make it out through the doors and into the immediate
I'm going
courtyard.
to stand in the doorway
Okay.
until my allies get through.
The other two are keeping pace.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You run through the keep over Vidar's body, and as you look behind you as you get near the door, and you see another piece of debris careen into the ceiling and fall through it, and it falls on the where the throne essentially was, and a lot of the sconces now begin to extinguish as dust and debris falls into them and snuffs the flame. But the two of you do make it through the doorway and into the outside.
I immediately follow them as soon as they're through.
As you guys make your way out the door and get several feet away to what you think is safety, you see and look up and you see the tower basically collapsing in on itself and falling to one side, and it's just a cacophony of destruction as the entirety of the keep begins to be getting decimated by whatever was holding it together or by some other force, as a large dust cloud envelops the main archway and comes out as everything sort of settles for a moment.
Is everyone okay? Within reason, of course.
I'm standing.
Oh, we're all
Better
standing.
than what you were a little bit ago.
We're all standing.
Where's Haldir?
We gotta check on him. We gotta see how that went. We gotta...
Is there any way to see like a sign or something of what happened to Haldir or that battle?
You can go to the site of the battle. You guys are just immediately outside the keep.
I mean,
Oh,
that's
okay.
our exit anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Then we'll just head towards. Well, I can't speak for everybody. I'll head towards the exit.
Okay.
I'm actually gonna draw out my sword. Like as I'm walking towards the door, going like kind of like readying it in a position.
Okay.
and I'm gonna open the door and burst through like the fucking Kool-Aid man. Just, oh yeah.
Well, there is no door. You're outside.
Oh, for some reason I thought okay. I keep thinking
No,
keep.
you made it out into the immediate outside of the keep.
Yeah, there's some stairs that go down to the first courtyard where that's where the wraith showed up.
Okay, for some reason I thought that was indoors for some stupid reason. Okay, then I'm gonna just bring out my sword, have it in front of me, and go down the staircase.
Okay. What are you two doing? You just following?
Yeah.
Nayla is actually going to just kind of fall to her knees and catch her breath a bit.
Okay.
Just on her knees, hands on the ground, and she's just like taking deep breaths, and then at one point she'll look up to try to find Haru.
Say after a moment of being there, Haru flies down and lands on the ground next to you. Mathan and Hothis, the two of you make your way towards the stone staircase that leads down into the lower main section of the fort. And as you get to that staircase, you can look out and you see the walls and the buildings and everything that you initially fought your way through, maybe not even like 30 minutes ago. You do note that the ominous green fog, the blackish green fog, is not present. You do look about and you see a lot of the corpses, to your memory, don't seem to be in the place that they were before when you had left. You do see a lone figure sort of in the middle of the courtyard, slumped to the ground. From where you are, which is at the very top of the stairs.
I go check it out. Hothis goes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look.
Okay. You guys descend the staircase and slowly make your way towards the main center. It's eerily quiet. It's not a bird, cricket, squirrel.
Hey,
you could hear a pin drop. You could hear a pin drop for miles. Only on occasion do you hear a small sound of wind coming through the corridors between certain buildings. You hear your feet crunch against the ground as you move closer to this figure slumped over. As you get about 10 feet from it, you do see head sunken down and locks of blonde hair going past, and cloaked in a royal navy blue cloak, but the almost goldish bronze-like armor extending past, and hands appear to be resting on the pommel of a blade that is shoved into the earth. The head rises and the hair falls back, and you see streaks of blood coming from the hairline down the side of the left face, or left cheek. And Haldir looks over at the two of you.
Hothis is just gonna say,
Took your time, didn't you?
yeah, and not gonna lie, you kind of look like shit.
As do you.
Hothis extends a hand.
He takes it, pulls himself to the ground, or pulls himself up. Well, what happened?
Long story short, he's dead and we have the Palantir. Well, dead again.
Again.
It appears Moldred was undead.
The shadow twists much in this world.
But we did recover the Palantir.
It is excellent news. And you see his eyes sort of dart between the two of you. Where's Nayla?
She was just behind us, and I'll turn around. I'll just yell out for Nayla.
I assume I hear.
Yeah. It's dead quiet. You'd hear anything.
I'm coming. I'm coming. God, fuck, no breaks. And I stand up. I give Haru a few pets. Come on, oh man, let's go. I'll put him on my shoulders because I know he's not having it just like the rest of us. And I'll just start kind of staggering and meandering over to them.
You place him on your shoulder, and like his one wing like drapes behind you, like he's like being carried. He's like,
oh, buddy, big bird, buddy.
And you make your way down and towards Haldir and the rest of your company.
I'm glad you're alive like the rest of us.
A moment longer, and it might have been a different story.
Likewise. Let's get out of here.
First off, is that wraith gone, or is it just taking a break?
I'm pretty sure it's gone. If it's taking a break, I am not ready to fight it again.
Alright, well, I'm pretty sure we need to leave. Any objections? No? Okay, let's get the fuck out of here.
Well, where to?
North. Rejoin with the army. Get to Palantir as far away from here as possible.
Oh well. Nayla, do you still have need of us? What elves I do have left?
I guess right now, no, you can. You may take the time you need to recover, mourn, whatever you need.
I must return to my lady. She'll be very interested in the events that have transpired here. As will the rest of the White Council.
Haldir. Thank you. And please tell her thank you also. Haven't been the kindliest of little humans, but this one really appreciates it.
He does a shallow bow. Thank you, Nayla, for bringing such things to our attention. My people have been recluse for too long. And I fear we were going to need some unification in the coming years. Safe travels.
You as well. Do I know Saruman's part of the White Council?
Give me a lore check. $16. You've heard Radagast and Gandalf mention it one or two times in the conversations that you've had with him over the past.
Oh, or do I know Radagast is?
Yes.
Okay, that's easier actually for Nayla.
Him being your patron, you would know that.
Yeah, okay. Then she'll next say, when we get back, I'll give the Palantir to Radagast, or if he's gone and someone else from the council shows up to have it all, I'll be happy to get rid of it.
Yes, please be sure that it does make its way to a member of the White Council.
Yeah.
And then last, for the two of you, if you ever find yourself in Lorien, as he turns his back and begins to walk away, he sheaths his sword. This Warden of the Golden Wood will always welcome you.
Thank you, Lord out here.
It's been an honor.
Makes his way out the main gate and hangs left out of sight. The three of you are left in the central courtyard.
I scan the skies.
Well, we should get moving. I don't expect this area to be safe.
Whatever happened with the... Do I know about the eagles?
I don't think anybody knows I held up the feather because I was on a different floor than you guys during that.
Okay. Then forget my question. Never mind. Yeah, let's, I wouldn't mind getting the fuck far away from here.
Okay. Three of you make your way out the main gate and down the winding dirt path to the base of the hill. Looking behind you, the storm clouds seem to be breaking a bit, but you do see dust rise ever so slightly above the walls as the destruction of the keep continues a bit as things shift and remnants begin to fall a bit. But the keep is silent, and the Tyrant's Hill, for being a threat or at least a deterrent power for so long, is now silent. Battered and bruised, the three of you heft your things and make your way into the forest, heading north, praying that no creature looks at you sideways. That's where we're gonna take a break.
Ah!
That's fair. My heart needs a break. Oh boy. Oh.
Hail, adventurer! Are you a dungeon master with a desire to transport your players to fantastical settings? Perhaps they are deep in the dungeon of a mad lich.
Fools, you have intervened for the last time. Let's see you survive my fireball.
Or perhaps the party has just come across bandits, and the Goliath monk releases a flurry of blows and a stunning strike to gain control of the conflict. Nice rolls on the attack. Or maybe the party is taking a breather after another difficult quest. If this sounds like something you want at your next TTRPG session, then head over to battlebards.com. By subscribing to BattleBards Prime, you get the ability to immerse your players in your campaign. You'll get complete streaming access to the libraries of both BattleBards and Platemail games. And whether your game is in person or virtual, you won't be limited, as you will have access to a caster and a mixer to be able to broadcast the tracks to all of your players. And of course, if you want to download and keep any tracks, then you get 20% off all in-store purchases. So what are you waiting for, adventurer? A quest posting at the local guild hall? Get over to battlebards.com and subscribe today, and use the coupon code ADVENTURE at checkout. Stay proficient, adventurers. Hail, adventurer. Are you a dungeon master with a desire to transport your players to fantastical settings? Perhaps they are deep in the dungeon of a mad lich.
Fools, you have intervened for the last time. Let's see you survive my fireball.
Or perhaps the party has just come across bandits, and the Goliath monk releases a flurry of blows and a stunning strike to gain control of the conflict. Nice rolls on the attack. Or maybe the party is taking a breather after another difficult quest. If this sounds like something you want at your next TTRPG session, then head over to battlebards.com. By subscribing to BattleBards Prime, you get the ability to immerse your players in your campaign. You'll get complete streaming access to the libraries of both BattleBards and Plate Mail games. And whether your game is in person or virtual, you won't be limited, as you will have access to a caster and a mixer to be able to broadcast the tracks to all of your players. And of course, if you want to download and keep any tracks, then you get 20% off all in-store purchases. So what are you waiting for, adventurer? A quest posting at the local guild hall? Get over to battlebards.com and subscribe today, and use the coupon code ADVENTURE at checkout. Stay proficient, adventurers. And we're back. We having fun yet? Alright. So.
I mean, my blood pressure is probably now at a good level, so I think we're okay.
Yeah, really.
Over the course of a few days, the three of you limp your way towards Roskabel, or Black Tarn?
Black
Where are we
Town
going?
first.
What's our destination? Black Tarn. You make your way towards... Okay.
Yeah.
You make your way towards the Black Tarn at a bit of a slower pace than you are normally traveling with, considering the situation. Trying to be extra cautious getting back home for the most part. You do arrive at the gates of the Black Tarn just as the army is pretty much mobilizing to head out. That is coincidentally how events line up.
Okay, that's it. The roll's over. Everybody go home.
We did it, guys.
I'm just gonna hop on a cart and be like, "Can I just sleep back here, please?"
Can you imagine them seeing the general just showing up like, ah?
In all seriousness, no. Hathis will turn to Nayla and will say, "You should probably address them all."
Never a dull moment in this kind of role. And she'll make sure her posture is good. She'll roll her shoulders back a little, even while Haru is most likely still on her shoulders. She'll tuck underneath, or she'll scratch like right underneath his beak and stuff to try to get him a little more, I don't know, perked up or whatever. And then she'll just start, as best as she can, and as, like, I don't know, stoically as she can, just kind of march on forward.
Okay. You lead the group through the main gate of the Black Tarn, and you're walking past mustering groups of woodmen who are preparing to head out. Either they're gathering their things, sharpening their weapons, or just getting their affairs in order. And you hear sort of hushed whispers like, "That's General Nayla. What are they doing back so soon?" You're like, "I can't be good."
She she looks like shit.
Where are you going?
I'm gonna try to find my peeps, Avana specifically.
My peeps.
I was like, I'm pretty sure everyone here.
They are all my peeps.
qualifies.
That's true, but I'm looking for higher command
just kind of
peeps.
waves.
Sure. It doesn't take you long to find Avana. She is sort of organizing most of the situation for now. There's a couple of captains around her. Nayla, what are you doing back so soon? You look terrible.
Yeah.
You should see the other guy.
Yeah, you really should, though.
He's dead.
Tyrant's Hill has fallen.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, at least Mildred, who was there, has been defeated by us, and we reclaimed something that he had taken, where he can no longer have advantage over us in our endeavors. One, because we took the thing back, two, because he's now dead. Double dead. That's beside the point. Tyrant's Hill is gone.
I thought the plan was for us to come to you.
Right. Let me backtrack a little.
Please.
Sorry. It's been a few days. We reconvened with Haldir, like we said. And we, at that time, found new intelligence that Tyrant's Hill was at its weakest in a very short time frame, but also learned that he had this item, and that it became of utmost importance to take it while we could. And at first the plan was more or less some sort of try to take it without doing too much trouble. But that's never how we roll. Am I remembering all of this right? It's been a few days.
While you're doing this, or while you're conveying this, she leans over to one of the captains. Quickly, get them some medical attention. Go bring some supplies. They clearly need it.
Anyways, Mildred has fallen. Tyrant's Hill has quite literally crumbled. The tower's gone. It reeks of shadow, though. And whatever shadow was there, I think Haldir pushed out for now.
Well, that is great news, but what are we to do? What are your orders?
General.
I would like a nap. Sorry, my head has been pounding since a wooden beam took the back of it. Hothus, am I forgetting anything?
I think the biggest thing we must remember is we have to deliver the Palantir to probably Saruman, who may still be in Ruskobel.
Or Radagast if Saruman has left at this time.
Seeing the movies, I'm just like,
No.
It's like I tied things together.
Just hear like someone in the back of Middle Earth, motherfucker.
And
You also recall that the black powder from the Great Elf also ended up with Saruman.
Yep.
and
Guys, I think we just fucked over Middle Earth.
hey, I don't know what you're talking about. We just saved it.
We just saved it.
while the current threat of the Black Tarn has been dealt with, there is still Nazgul in the forest. Orcs are still amassing at Dol Guldur. While the immediate threat to the Woodmen has been dealt with, I believe there is a much larger threat growing, but it is a threat I don't think this army is capable of facing. But I am not in charge here. That's just what I have come to understand from traveling such a short time with you, General, and you, Mathan.
I say Mathan just might as well go fuck off at this point.
I mean, I'm just waiting to deliver the Palantir, and then I'm fucking no.
Bye.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
No fine.
Very well. We'll get you some quarters. You can rest. And we can discuss things further until you're had a good night's sleep, because that will probably fix most things. I don't know.
Only most.
We'll discuss things in the morning for next actions, and we can see where we go from here.
Alright, but for now, I think the army can relax for a few more days. Keep patrol and alert out. But otherwise, stand by.
Very well. I'll inform them all that they may stand down. The only issue we had while you were gone was a couple of stragglings of spiders. I don't know what that was quite about, but they haven't come up since.
Good. I don't care for spiders right now.
One of the,
you know?
Tarkin, the Weaver?
Yes, Tolkien.
One of the three great spiders ambushed us on our way south.
I was so trying to repress it, Hothus.
I mean, we took out that spider lickety split. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Got Salphos pretty good. Salphos or Arachnid? Got Arachnid pretty good.
Yes. I would like to never see a spider ever again. Unless it's... No. I'd like to never see a spider ever again.
Well, we should go rest.
Yes.
You know what? I'm gonna get a drink first.
I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed.
I'm going to bed.
There's gonna be no character. There's gonna be no character interaction or anything. I'm just literally just gonna go have a drink and then go to bed.
I mean, if you want somebody, Mathan, I'll go with you. I don't drink, but I'll go with you.
This is like, you need a DD? I can DD.
I need a D&D.
Hey.
I'm just gonna be like, if you want to join.
I guess. I mean, I'll fall asleep eventually, no matter what.
Alright. So I'll just go somewhere I can grab a quick
sitting up,
drink.
smacks his head off the table, takes 6 bludgeoning damage.
Dies.
Just dies right there.
And now that I have Mathan alone, I take Claude.
Oh my god.
What a twist.
What a twist.
Oh god.
The three of you do whatever you're going to do, and then find a place provided to you to, for the first time in what feels like a long time, and in reality it's only been like a week, is just sort of turn your brain off and try and rest. You all get a long rest.
Ooh, all the way back up to 122 hit points.
I should have fired him up.
That is that good kush. That is that good kush indeed.
Just hear Mathan from across the land. Oh, that's that good shit.
Y'all ever just get a good night's sleep and you're like, damn, that's that good shit.
I
Not
wish.
lately. Not
Yeah.
lately. Good night's sleep. I'm gonna think I died.
All right.
So in the next morning, Nayla,
Yes.
what would you like to do?
Hey, buddy.
In what? In general?
Yeah, in general. In general,
General.
Haha. Huh.
Raffle.
I mean, I think what I'll do is I'll reconvene with command, and I think it's a I think it's a matter of just starting to have most of everybody go back home, but would probably ask for a good but would probably ask
Get
for
up! Everyone go out! Get out of here!
but would probably ask for a good portion of people to like volunteer and stay, and then upon going back home, start
Nobody
thinking
does.
start thinking about just rebuilding efforts for the Black Tarn, basically saying that would be the next I guess objective specifically for the Woodmen, and anything in terms of Dol Guldur would prefer to reconvene with Radagast and or Saruman back at Roscabel before continuing with that idea, essentially.
Okay. That was way more than I was expecting.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was a little taken back by your question, I guess.
I assumed you were gonna tell me I'm gonna go find this person, and
Oh,
I thought
actually-
all that was gonna be a conversation.
Actually, yeah, no, so,
Just
after-
lore dumped.
Sorry. Sorry. But after that, though, after doing my general duties, I would like to try to find Mathan.
Okay.
Wherever
Yes,
he might be.
You go around a bit. You talk to Avana and a couple of the captains of this United Woodman force. You discuss what has transpired over the past week or so, and in that time, you all collectively come to the conclusion that the task that this force was assembled for has been accomplished. The Black Tarn has been reclaimed. The immediate threat to the Woodman border has been dealt with. So, based on the Woodman law, is that not necessarily is it meant to immediately disband, but the one that was given the right to lead it, the general, has to report back to almost like a pseudo folk moot, and the next steps to determine what would happen would go from there.
Right.
So that was sort of the conclusion there. The immediate force, most of it will be left here. My Discord froze.
Oh.
For a second there, I was like, why is no one moving? Did everyone die? Discord's being real bitchy tonight. A bulk of the force will stay behind as a guard, because this is Woodman territory and it isn't meant to be left. And as far as rebuilding and resettling, that will all be determined by a folk moot.
Gotcha.
Okay. So after you had that discussion, you go and find Nathan.
I'll probably just be chilling somewhere, either getting something to eat or just kind of relaxing after that whole debacle.
Oh, good. If you're eating, I will sit wherever you are sitting and eating, and I'll sit next to you and order a drink.
Nayla, good company.
You too, as always. Covered yet?
I say I'm about 90%. Just need to get something in my belly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like you have something on your mind.
Yeah, I guess I'll get straight to the point. You know how terrible I am with words, but here, I took this because I thought you might like it as, a little something in the end. And I take out the clasp that was on Vidar's cloak.
I'm gonna look at it and just kind of like just slowly take it, put it like in the palm of my hand, check it out. I'll gladly fuck. I'll gladly take it. You know,
to remember him as the dwarf that we traveled with, not the one we had to fight.
what we had to fight in there was just a monster. It wasn't Vidar.
Regardless.
That's how I process it. That and lots of ale.
That's why I just got a drink, but now that we're in a quiet spot and we can do this, well, I guess a little better or more formally, I'll raise my drink to Vidar.
To the Iron Dwarf.
God, that Iron Dwarf, yes. I'll take a drink. May those fists rain. Or however it goes, whatever.
I think I know where I want to go next.
Where's that?
Erebor. Let them know that their friend died a hero.
Is there anything left of the Great Elf?
Crap, is there? Remember Vidar like talking about it?
Vida was talking a lot about it.
Yeah, he was.
But like I don't know, like if I know where like his friends are or anything, I don't know. His family.
So
I
the
mean-
thing with Vidar is he had no friends because he was introduced with all of his friends being killed and you saving him.
Yep.
So you
Yep.
you two were his last friends.
Okay, well I don't know if you made new ones like in between. Okay, well in that case, Maith will kind of like a second thought. Maybe I'll end up going back to Mirkwood.
Is Ruthael waiting?
Beats the hell out of me. We'll find out. I would like to see Lady Morwen one more time.
How soon do you leave?
When I'm no longer needed here.
Hmm.
Perk of no one expecting you. You don't have to leave in a rush.
I almost missed that from being a mercenary. Now it's too many people waiting for me to sneeze for something to happen.
I'm just gonna kind of snicker. Yeah, you're right, General. From a leader to a general.
We don't.
Wonder what else you're gonna accomplish.
No, we don't need to talk about my life
Lord?
story. No, it's my life story. Honestly, is a bunch of random shit that I still can't fully get behind and together. And you know, I'm just too old for this anymore. I'm
You want
just
to talk to me about age and shit you don't want to talk about?
whatever. In my merely whatever human years, I am old. I don't
English.
grow to live as long as you Dunedain or dwarves or elves or whatever. I'm probably over half the span of my lifetime at this rate.
Outside of my own people and elves I usually associate with, this old age thing is not exactly a gift. Known a lot of human companions go, pass. It's just the way of life, I guess. That's why you don't associate with anything else that doesn't share your long life. But
Yeah.
neither here nor there. What are you gonna do now, General? keep your command, or are you just gonna go back to being leader? or are you just gonna say fuck it and travel around and kick the shit out of anything that looks at you funny?
I have considered all of those options.
And which one strikes you the most?
I don't like how you know me that well. And I'll chuckle and I'll kind of playfully punch him in the shoulder a little.
I'll just kind of like just take it with a little bit of a smirk.
I have no idea. I might have an idea, but I don't know yet. I might travel a little. I might stick around. Might actually remain chieftain who stays in her town for more than a week, much to Avina's dismay. She might appreciate me staying longer and not traveling so much. We'll see. I've learned... If there's one thing I've learned, it's that life likes to be surprising. And you just have to adapt. Whether it's shit hitting the fan or something else miraculous happening.
What's a fan?
Shit hitting the wings.
Shit, yeah, the wind? I don't know.
Shit in the wind.
Well, we'll see what awaits. We'll see what awaits for me in Mirkwood. Whether it's a she-elf waiting for me, possibly a home to settle into, or maybe I'll revisit my people. Someday, I would like to lay down my sword and just live somewhat of a quiet life. I think I've had my fair share of adventure for 4 lifetimes, and I've lived 2.
Yeah. I can relate with that. But if you go back to Mirkwood, tell Ruthiel I say hi.
Will do.
If King Thranduil decides to ask about me and our supposed relationship via Mountain Hall and Elven King's Hall together, just, I don't know, be diplomatic, peaceful. You can tell him I say hi to, whatever.
Yeah, I'm no diplomat. I'll just say you say hi if he wants anything
right.
to go ask you.
That's more of Thea's job, actually.
Who knows? He might ask me. Never know with the king.
But if you travel between there and over the mountains, don't be a stranger to Mountain Hall.
Well, you know me. I do like the lure of the road. Maybe eventually I will come and visit you. And I expect a few tankers of ale.
I will have a full barrel with your name etched on it for safekeeping.
Maybe, and I'm gonna sit back with my drink already, be like, maybe my adventuring is not done yet. Kind of do like a Bilbo. I think it's time for another adventure.
Thanks.
4?
Everything. When I first met you and Rythan, I didn't know what to expect. I thought this was going to be a quick thing of a few mercenaries or adventurers getting together to get gold. At least that was my plan. And then moving on. And who knew it would just lead all to this, for better or for worse.
I thought just a quick job, fighting some orc, goblin, whatever the hell crossed my path. ended up being something that I'll cherish for life. But you mentioning Rythan brings up maybe something else I want to do.
What's that?
I remember a point a long time ago in a conflict where we were being surrounded, and someone fired black arrows, it seemed like from Doggle Door. Never found out who it was, never found out what happened. But I'm curious why someone with those kind of arrows would save us.
Was that at Bloodstump?
I think that was somewhere
It
towards
was.
Bloodstone.
It was. But Nayla has no idea about that because she wasn't there.
Neither is Hothus. Hothus isn't even in this conversation.
Yeah. It's one we were dealing with. Long story, but a troll named Bloodstump.
Oh. Yes, Thea has told me all about that.
So I'm curious, why would someone from that part of the world want to help us? So, maybe I'll take some time and figure out more of that.
Well, if you do find out more of our friend by any chance, I would like to know.
I'll keep you updated. Send word. That is, if I don't die along the way.
Nah. Please. If we've gone through all of this, I don't think anything can kill us at this rate. At least you.
Fate's funny like that.
That's true.
They're practically gods.
But in all seriousness, and she'll stand, and she'll hold her drink out again toward Mathan. Thanks, and to unexpected fellowships.
Thank you to Nayla. To unexpected fellowships.
That's the thing. That's the lie.
I've got some more people to see, but I hope you enjoy the one little thing from Vidar. And then
I'll
I'm
cherish
sure.
it. I'll cherish it. And I'm actually going to attach it to my cloak with her standing in front of me.
Best of everything to you, Mathan.
You as well.
And I'll head on out. But I'm taking my drink with me.
Alright.
I'm just going to finish my meal and drink and then kind of go about my day.
Hothus, is there anything you would like to do in the Black Tarn?
Not specifically. He's just sort of outside, enjoying nature. Been a while since he could do that. Probably at the water's edge. Just staring out at the water.
You do notice a little bit of nature does begin to return to the Black Tarn. For a long time, it was not barren, but there weren't any animals about, and it was a sickly, choked sort of lake. You do see a fish or two return and a couple of birds overhead, and for someone like you as a Bjorning, it warms your heart to know that what you've done here has had an effect, and it is already showing.
And
These weren't your people.
his thoughts turn to the vision he had while fighting Mordred of the Karaks being destroyed, and his thoughts, he just dwells on the thoughts of home.
Okay.
And then
They
yeah, I was gonna say
Go ahead.
after that, he'll just go find Nayla, because the journey's not done yet. The Palantir still has to be delivered.
The day wanes on, until the three of you confer with each other as majority of the Woodmen force seem to have been mobilized and they look ready to depart. Nayla, you and Avana have conversed and made immediate plans for the majority of the force to return home, or at least back north towards Roskabel and to disperse from there. The ones left behind are currently an outpost, a light guard force on the border. And the three of you, along with Avana and the rest of the Woodman army, make your way up the Dusky River, heading towards the small village of Roskabel. And the three of you stop off here, while the rest of the army continues on northward, heading for Woodman Town. Knowing that if you intend to, you will catch up with them. You make your way into the hedgerow-like wall of Roskabel, and there are a handful of people here. And you go back into the large tree clump that you've known Radagast to reside in, and you find his cottage tucked away in the shadows of the beneath the tree canopy. There are birds and squirrels chirping and skittering about. You walk into the cottage and look around, and you note the place is empty. Radagast hasn't returned. For those of you that were with him last, you haven't seen him since saving Duskwater. And he had disappeared in the night and hasn't been seen by anyone of the Woodman Society.
Always gone when you need him. Such is the Radagast way.
You do note, leaving the trees, that one of the smaller cottages that is sort of like built into the hedges itself, is still occupied. This is the one that you originally met Saruman at. The one that you would recall, some of you who do have a... Actually, I don't know if any of you. Never mind. I don't think that was anyone in this party. Anyway.
Who wants to knock on the door?
Hathis knocks on the door.
Yeah, there's a couple of Dunlings outside who greet you, and they inform you that Saruman has been expecting you. You walk up to the door and you knock twice, and the door opens on its own. You go inside, and it is a small cottage with books stacked in every corner, parchment crossing from one wall to the next, and bookcases around, and several candles that have been melted down to probably this far, and then three others they're about that big around that are currently lit. And at a writing desk, you see hunched over the Saruman the White, the grayish white beard, and the cream white with gold inlay robes, as he appears to be writing something on the parchment with a quill.
Master Saruman. Hearing none of his allies speak up, Hathis speaks up. We were successful in destroying the Tyrant's Herald and recovering the Palantir. The Nazgul, luckily, we eluded it.
He puts the quill down and looks up over at the three of you. Well, this is good news. For the time being. You have the Palantir now.
Ayla, you have it, right?
Yes.
I don't have it.
Yes. Yeah. Here. And I'm gonna open the pouch it was in, and I will carefully hand it over to him.
You hand the whole pouch?
No, I take it out.
Or just you take it out? Okay.
Yeah.
You take it out and you hand it over to him, and he grasps it in one hand, and he takes his other and sort of like smooths some dust off of it and gazes into it for a couple of seconds. And then turns and places it on like a pedestal of sorts that holds it on one side of the desk. Very good. You have done a great deed for Middle-earth. As far as the Nazgul is concerned, we have reason to believe that there are 3 of them present in the forest currently.
Ooh.
3?
The White Council has been observing their movements for a while now, and we believe at least 3 of them reside in the old fortress. So it is very good that you do not run into any of them.
We would have been dead otherwise.
It seems strange to me that they would not, at least if there are 3 of them, one of them would not personally oversee the transfer of the Palantir into their own hands.
I'm sure each one had their own tasks. One to Captain Dol Guldur in the old fortress. One to sow deceit amongst the residents of the forest. And the third to potentially be a spy or saboteur. We're not quite sure. We're still looking into it. But I have no doubt that the work of one of the 3 played vital roles in certain events that have been carried out in the forest. Namely, the ultimate downfall of the forgotten son of Ingema. But based on what you've told me, that is currently history.
Unless
Yes.
they resurrect him again from the dead again. He's been dead twice. He's dead twice now.
The possibility is there, and we will do well to keep an eye on it. Though I believe that he may have outlived his usefulness at this point. Now, is there anything else I can help you with?
No, not for me. As far as I understand, our task is complete.
For now.
Indeed it is. I will return the Palantir to Orthanc, where it can be studied further.
I don't actually say that. I don't actually say that.
Me is like, no!
You can try and stop the wizard.
No. Yeah, right.
Draw my sword. One final battle.
It's just the scene in Return of the King when Gandalf bonks Denethor with the staff. A battle.
That was always one of my favorite things. Just dunk.
Very well. I will be departing Roscovel shortly. I must confer with the rest of the White Council, and then I must return to Orthanc.
Well, excellent. Then
Very well.
have safe
I
travels.
wish to you as well. I wish the 3 of you safety and luck in whatever you set your eyes on next.
And Hothus leaves.
Yeah.
He ducks under the door because he's too fucking tall.
Three of you make your way out, and the door on its own closes behind you. And you make your way towards the front gates of Ruskabel. Some of you feel pulled in one direction. The others may feel pulled in another. That your paths may cross again in time, but each of you, at this point, find your goals and desires on separate paths.
Hey, Hothus.
Yeah, Hothus was just lost in thought, staring at the horizon. Yes?
Before you go, if you care for that kind of thing, I'd like you to have this. And it's crude, but it's one of Haru's feathers with some twine kind of wrapped around the tip of it, and then there's a loop for like a little charm or a trinket to like hang it somewhere or tie it to something. But around where the twine is wrapped around is one of Vidar's beads from his beard. And she'll just go, it's a little something, but I was fair because I gave Mathan something, and I'm gonna give Thea something too, but I thought this might help not to be super sentimental, I suppose. You know, I just thought
He's sentimental. Hothus just pulls her in and just hugs her.
Just, you know, just because we
Breaks
may
the
have
rib.
lost some old friends on the way and new friends here. New friend, take this.
Ayla, I deeply appreciate this, and I will treasure it. I haven't known you or Mathan long, but I can tell from fighting at your side, you are both noble and forces of good that are much needed in this world. And your people are lucky to have you, Nayla. But promise me, take it easy for a little bit. You got fucked up there.
We all did. You too, Hothus.
Oh, my days of adventuring are over. I'm going home.
Yeah.
Help raise the next generation.
Home does sound good, but the same goes for you. You and your people, and even Bjorn, have been in fact impactful. I actually still remember some words Bjorn had told me when we were helping him against, crap, what's his name?
Bigland.
Thank you, Bigland. About stopping to enjoy what you see around you every once in a while.
Yeah.
And you've said those words too, and had them echo as we traveled together. So
I don't know if you noticed, but at the Black Town, you could directly see the positive effects our actions had. Nature was returning. The greenwood was returning. It might never return fully, but we'll never know if we don't try.
Exactly. So thank you. And your people, and Bjorn. I think, for me at least, and for the Woodmen as a whole, you've done a lot more than you might think. And I hope, even though we've been neighbors for a while, I hope the friendship between us grows.
We will always have our friendship.
Take care, Hothus.
Hothus will just walk away, just walk out of town, just start walking
But wait, before he goes, Nathan just wants to.
Oh,
He's like,
sorry, Nathan. You know, it just felt very dramatic at that point for me just to turn and walk into the sunset, but,
Don't forget to give Haru some scritches.
let me just add to the drama and thank you for saving my life in the tower.
oh, I mean, you saved my life first. And I must admit, I must apologize to you, Nathan. In the battle with Mordred, I did leave you for dead. And I'm...
You don't need to
sorry.
apologize for that. I don't want you to apologize for that. If it meant saving your lives and getting what we came in for, that would be what I would want you to do. So no need for apologies. But if you want to make it up to me, I'm always down for a good old drink.
Well,
Or a meal.
if you want a drink, you're gonna have to come to the Karax.
Well, I would love to do that.
And then maybe
But-
I'll actually teach you how to truly wield a weapon.
I'm just gonna start giggling. Get the fuck out of here. Then I'm gonna offer like my arm out as like a actual like Dunedain like arm grab shake for like almost like in a tribal way.
Athos looks at it, and then he just pulls you in for a big hug.
Hey, bear.
I'm gonna get like squeeze it like yep. Love you
Harder,
too, buddy.
harder.
Yeah.
And he lets him go.
Haru squawks.
Stop it.
Now I know, Nathan, I told Nayla to take it easy, but I see in your eyes. You've seen a lot. Your eyes are older than you.
I'm gonna like crack a smile. What you saying? I'm old.
I am. Maybe not physically, but your soul. A tree that
Alright.
has weathered many storms.
Okay, we're just going on a personal attack here.
You need your spring. You, more than any of us, need to settle down for a long while. You've done your part. Middle Earth will take what you've given it and survive and thrive.
I hope so.
Stay safe.
You as well.
Don't die, because if you do, I'll have to come and kill you again for dying. Don't ask questions.
I'm
And
interested to see how that will turn out.
Hathis turns, and now he walks away, beginning the journey home.
Small wave.
Arthas walks down the path. You watch him round and head northwestish, heading for the river of the Anduin River, and heading home. Two of you are left standing there.
We're in Roscobel.
They're right outside Roscobel.
Well, General, if you have no more need of... Fuck it, I'm just gonna say it, your most loyal soldier,
Jeez.
I think I will take my leave. Stop it.
Damn it, Nathan. And she'll just go in for a hug.
Then I'll kind of like return it.
What Hatha said. Don't fucking die, or we'll come after you.
You know what? Part of me wants to start chasing death now because I want to see how this happens.
I've hit you before. I'll do it again if you keep thinking like that.
Yeah.
Like I said, don't be a stranger.
Likewise, if you ever find the need that you need to call me,
You'll see Thea.
I'll give you word of where I'll be. Either check the Dunedain settlement or Mirkwood.
That sounds like a plan.
And kind of like one last hug, and I'll start walking first towards the direction of Mirkwood.
Immediately behind you, Roscabel is completely Mirkwood. The entire area is Mirkwood.
The Elven King's Hall, then.
Back in the
Okay.
woods.
Alright.
I was going to Roscabel. Alright, I made it to Mirkwood.
End up just walking the same way as Hoffus, and it's just that
Oh, yeah,
awkward.
you guys kind of are.
Yeah, a little bit.
Except it's not just to your car. It's for a few miles.
I'm just gonna hop on.
Days.
I'm gonna hop on his back like Yoda does to Luke. Strong with the Force, you are.
Nayla, we'll see you both off then.
Nayla, what is your destination?
If she has nothing else in Roscabel to immediately take care of until the whole formality of, like, you know, the general duty being done because things have been disbanded or whatnot, after all of that, or really, she'll make her way home to Mountain Hall.
Okay. In the coming weeks, you return to Mountain Hall. It's a quiet settlement, considering it's been fairly removed for a lot of the conflict that has been going, despite a lot of its resources being diverted to support the other Woodmen effort. You're there for a brief moment of a couple days until you receive the summons for Woodman Town. You make your way there, where you meet with the other Woodman elders of the council. They converse on the topic of what should be done next, while Ingemer is visibly distraught in what has transpired with his son, Mogdred. He is happy of the resolution that has come. He stutters through a couple of sentences and coughs, and you notice his movements are a bit slowed. And the etching thought in the back of your head is that now pushing into his 70s, Ingemer is probably not long for this world. And that would be another Woodman leader. However, the conversation is steered in the direction of what happens next. You push for the Woodman force that was left behind at the Black Tarn to remain, so that the area may be made safe, and that rebuilding can begin. And a memorial to Ameliota and her family can be erected.
I'd ask for a memorial for the elves of Haldir's men too, or Haldir's elves. Sorry, as a little token of remembrance and thanks.
A small elven, sort of like a shrine, is put along the water's edge. But with the recent developments, they see no reason to allow you to retain the title of general or war leader. So you step down and remain chieftain of Mountain Hall. They agree that a coming darkness is approaching, and this will not leave their minds. They will prepare in the coming years in a hope that the Woodmen can stand tall against the tide that will come from Dol Guldur. After this, what does Nayla do?
Here we are. Yeah, Nayla is going to remain chieftain. She's thought about it long and hard. But in the early days of her returning to Mountain Hall, she'll become more kind of resolute and confident in that decision. As much as for a while, as she was ready to just say, like, fuck it all to the wind and wander off into the horizon and never be seen again and just pass on in old age. She's tired. But she decides to stay. And then, I will say, during making that decision, there will be a day in Mountain Hall where she will find, probably in her, like, little town hall place, the Long Hall or Longhouse or whatever.
Longhouse.
Yeah, she will at one point approach a brazier, and she's gonna take out what she's pulled out before, the giant eagle feather, and she's gonna hold it over the fire, and then she'll drop it in the fire.
The feather, while in your hand, the flames begin to lick it, and you see the edge of the feather singe, and your grip tightens a little bit, something inside of you wanting to hold on to it, until you feel a warmth from your forearm creep up and almost grasp around your hand. And you feel your grip loosen, and the palm opens, and the feather floats until it's engulfed by the flames. And as you see it ignite in a bit of smoke come up, and you look across the brazier, you blink, and for a moment, you swear you see an elven figure opposite of you. And then it dissipates.
She'll smile, and then she'll watch the feather burn, and she'll just say, I have tried to depend on you for a few times for a rescue, a miracle. Now I see that was useless, though, hence me burning you. But I kept trying to depend on others and outside circumstances to define my successes, and yet also be the scapegoats for any harm or cruelty that I endured. But I see now it's me who defines all of this. I've been part of the miracles and rescues that I've seen happening, among others. Went from betrothed to exile, lonely mercenary to chieftain, and now general who has seen so much. And it's what I've seen that's made me realize that if I want things to be different, keep seeing those miracles that I've been trying to depend on, or see change, it's up to me to do that. Then I'll look back up to where I saw that elven figure flicker. And I'll say, then I will. That's a promise. Goodbye, Rythan. And then she'll continue her days as chieftain. At some point, I know her and Thea will reunite with Thea being Thea, I'm sure, with her diplomatic ways. But the next time Nayla sees Thea, she's going to take out Vidar's drum that she would have had repurposed and recovered. And she would gift it to Thea to use it as an additional tool and method for Thea to tell her stories of legends, of the heroes and friends she knows. At some point, she'll probably keep asking Radagast, bugging Radagast, what he knows about Haru and why Haru is so big and so special, supposedly. But over time, it's going to just be more of a playful banter between the two, since she knows how he is. And, at some point, she'll get old, I would like to think. If she's called for help or combat or anything as the general, she'll do it. But if fate takes care of her, then she'll get old. Holy crap.
Nayla.
Who the fuck's cutting onions here?
And then, when she is old enough, she'll retire from chieftain. She'll step down when she feels the time is right. And whether Haru is still alive or not, regardless, or she has another pet, who knows, or she's by herself, I don't know yet. When she retires, then she will wander peacefully, I would like to think, for once. For the rest of her days.
Nayla would go on to live a relatively peaceful life after the events that has brought her so much excitement and anguish and memories. The Woodmen Settlement Mountain Hall would flourish under her leadership. The mines would prosper, and trade that was first came up under her shortly after coronation. Maybe that was a little bit of help from Armand, but...
Oh, I did forget one thing. Because she gave everybody else gifts that had a little piece of Vidar. But the one thing she kept and started wearing was in the front strand of her hair is one of Vidar's beads from his beard.
Long into her years, when she felt it was right, she resigned her station as chieftain, and a folk moot began anew to determine who would be the next leader. Before that decision could come, Nayla gathered her things and heard the call of the road once more. She began her journey heading south for Lorien. And that was the last time anyone of the Woodman race saw her. Nathan.
Oh, good. I can mute myself and cry now.
Nathan, you leave Roscabel and head for the Elven King's Hall. It's a long journey, not one that you haven't made before. You keep well to the path, and as it winds and weaves through the grounds that you've traveled hundreds of times with various companions who have seemed to have come and gone, you eventually make your way to the Elven King's Hall, the catacombs beneath the earth of dwarven craftsmanship and elven magics combined. You are welcomed, being of the elf friend. What do you do here?
Well, I'm gonna walk in and first find my way to Brandwheel and kind of update him on all my adventures and escapades since I was gone.
He welcomes the information. He is eager to hear every last bit of events that have transpired beyond his borders. He seems fixated on the idea of someone of the second born being able to be corrupted to such a degree to drive so much anguish and conflict in his forest, a realm that was once governed by his father when the station fell to him, and he's seen the Greenwood revert into what is now known as Mirkwood, and the borders of his people recede. He turns to a point of further isolation in the coming years for his people, and almost of a disdain for non-firstborns.
And then from there, kind of like having a kind of like an audience with him. And again, I know I'm already like welcome, but from that point, I'm gonna go request and see Ruthia.
No requests needed. She is there. She is present. She welcomes you.
And at that point, I'm gonna go and find her.
Yeah, you find her. What happens from here? Where do you see this progressing?
I thought they said, where do you see this requesting? And I was like, well, progressing, I would like to, so Nathan would ideally profess everything to Ruthiel. And from there, look to, wouldn't say settle and make a family, but our version of just kind of settle and just be together as long as I'm alive.
She shares a similar sentiment, though she expresses hesitation with the knowledge of being captain of the guard and King Thranduil's current disposition towards non-elven folk. She thinks about it for some time, but eventually, for lack of a better term, says fuck it. And she agrees to at least be with you until the end of your days. or something takes her first.
Till your death do us part.
Till your death do us part, because I'm living.
Never gonna die. Dies 5 minutes later. Well. With that, what I would like to do, even though I'm settled with her, is occasionally, on the rare occasion, is go back and make trips to the Dunedain settlement and kind of reestablish my connection and relationship with them.
Yeah, you, from time to time, venture out from Mirkwood and cross the misty mountains into the west, into the former kingdom of Arnor. In those scattered, you do find random settlements and encampments scattered about the old kingdom, densely populated around the Hidden Valley and near Imlodgers. And there are times where there's large gaps of your visits. But because of that, you see drastic changes in the Rangers of the North. And in one of your later visits, decades from now, you hear that a lot of the Rangers are beginning to migrate further west towards the Shire, under the watchful guise and leadership of someone known as Strider.
Nathan just hears like, this again. Wonder how batshit crazy this one's gonna be.
We changed the name of that one.
We didn't? I thought Strider was just a title.
Irrelevant.
Okay. Then kind of like hearing that, just going back and forth. Eventually, Mathan's just kind of like just finish out the last of his days in Elven King's Hall. And kind of passing my weapons onto the people that I see most. So I would give Arabane to Ruthiel, and I would give it to her in the hand that she took it in when she took it in the Nagra's cave. And I would pass Theranil, my father's formerly cursed sword. I would make sure somehow it finds its way to Morwen, along with Adrahil's ring that I had. And I would just spend the rest of my days without those weapons, considering. So we'll kind of just take like a basic elvish steel sword or something, but once my adventuring and fighting days are done, just kind of see that retirement, called if I'm needed, and finish out my final days kind of in peace in the Elven King's Hall.
And indeed you do. Though a lifespan slightly longer than most, but by no means immortal. You spend the rest of your days in the Elven King's Hall, next to Ruthiel, and ensure that your armaments become heirlooms to those that you deemed worthy enough to wield the blade. Theranil and Ilring make their way to Morwen in her advanced age, and ensures you that she will find a suitable successor. Unfortunately, Mathan would not live to see the War of the Ring, though he would live to as far when Dol Guldur was unleashed upon Mirkwood.
Poor Mathan. We all die before that.
Not taking part in the actual war due to old age. But he would hear certain news from afar. As soon as I pull it up. Somewhere. You hear outlandish tales from the mountains of a large form in the shape of a bat that haunts the woods and wreaks havoc across anyone who wanders near. A tale is spun that the werewolf of Mirkwood returns yet again, along with this vampire. And of course, eventually he hears of the March of the Woodmen, the large war band from all houses of woodmen that gather and march south to fight against Dol Guldur. Not in the effort of victory, but in an effort of biding time. You never hear news of what came of that force. Office.
Hothus. So after Tyrant's Hill, Hothus pretty much immediately retires from adventuring. He was already getting around the age where it's customary for a Bjorning to settle down and remain home and help with things that needed done in the Karoks. But I think specifically what he would do is he would look after Bjorning children, and he would tell them of his short but grand adventures with these crazy adventurers of Nayla and Mathan, and and out of these children, one does show that like spark for adventure. And so Hothus trains this Bjorning child, and when this Bjorning is of age, Hothus will pass Claw to them for their own adventures. And Hothus will remain in the Karoks. He keeps Nayla's gift till the end of his days, and he's always waiting for Mathan to stop by for that drink.
Aw. I'm sure it happens.
I was focused on other things. I gotta go visit my friends.
Oh, I'm sure it happens. Nathan's got time.
Several years after you return to the Karok, in fact, maybe a decade or two, there comes a day where Bjorn calls forth his most trusted men. It includes you. And he informs you that he has to go away for a while.
Mm.
And that there are things that he must do, and if he does not return, that his son, Grimborn, will take his place when he is of age. Until then, Grimborn will be in the care of his mother. And some of the Bjornings, will have to run things in his absence. And he entrusting you folk to do such things. And to not meddle in the affairs of others. Let the woodmen keep to the woodmen, the elves to the elves. And no matter what you do not upset his bees. Bjorn leaves in the night with several adventurers, folk you've not seen around before. No Bjornings. You didn't get quite a good look, but they were definitely no one you recognized. And you live out your days in the Karok, tending to nature, tending to your people. Hoping that a day will come when there is no talk of shadow. The Mirkwood would once again be known as Greenwood the Great, and the creatures will return, and the rivers will flow clear, and that there will be no talk of dark times, and no speaking of war, or chieftains, or undead. But in such thoughts, you do have lingering memories of the absolute strangers you met that pulled you into the craziest few months of your life.
Yeah, that sounds like us.
Sounds right.
And while you were there at the behest of Bjorn, you did what you could, and you believe you made friends, long-standing friendships, and that you did your duty as a Bjorning in protection of Middle-earth. And you will live out your days peacefully in the Endwind Vales. And that concludes the Darkening of Mirkwood. So, it's been a few years, few-year ride.
4? Did we say 4?
A few. Let's leave it at a few. There was a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
There was a lot that transpired. But that concludes the campaign. The Palantir was secured and Mordred has been dealt with. The War of the Ring will eventually come. The Woodmen will stay and fight. While the efforts of the Fellowship and the many members that did make it up from Nayla, Mathan, Vidar, to Kalinhir, Vali, Arakran, Salphos, Thea, Hothus.
Oh my god.
Each sort of having a part to play in the story, whether directly or indirectly. They may not have stopped the shadow. They may
Right.
not have prevented Sauron's return. But they protected the people in the forest to the best of their ability, and they did stem the tide. They slowed the advance of Dol Guldur and the 3 Nazgul that ended up residing there. And what might feel like simply biding time from their perspective, it bought moments, long-standing moments of peace for those that resided in the Rohavanian region. So small children of the Woodmen could grow up and potentially play a role in the War of the Ring. So that the Bardings and the Dwarves of Erebor could continue their friendships. And a few of the wayward elves could continue to feast beneath the stars
Alan here is mischievous.
and live out their days. Blissfully unaware and ignorant of what would to come. So as the curtain falls on this campaign and this fellowship, we'll be back. With a whole new fellowship and a whole new campaign. Where the story leads, we'll just have to wait and find out. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. For those of you that have stuck around for a lot of this, because I know years are years, thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. And there's many questions left unanswered. Maybe we'll answer them. Maybe you need to use your imagination. Who's to say? But thank you so much for joining us tonight. We will be off next Tuesday, and we will make an announcement when the next campaign will start up. But we are going to take a brief hiatus from from streaming Adventures in Middle-earth as we prep for the next campaign. We might have substitution streams on Tuesdays. Just keep an eye out in Discord and Twitter. But the rest of our regularly scheduled programming should stay the same for the most part. We'll probably have some changes here coming up soon. But thank you again for joining us. I hope you enjoyed it. And from all of us here, have a good night and stay proficient.
Oh, I'm gonna cry all over again.